Hey guys, so my name is Oxide and today I'm going to show you my first ever multiplayer battle on Warhammer 2. I'm a bit of a veteran for Warhammer 1 and 2 campaign modes where I've got something like 600-700 hours of campaign play, but I'm a complete noob when it comes to online play. So I'm just going to start casting these. I made this channel to share with you guys. Hopefully I can get some feedback and learn some tips. I already subscribe to Turin, Party Elite, Heir of Carthage, people like that, so I've got a good idea about what to do, but it's my actual skills that is the problem here. So what I found is my micro is absolutely terrible. So anyway, this is my first ever online game. I picked the Dwarfs to try and get used to things without too much micro crippling me, and I'm going to be facing off against the Greenskins. So for my army composition, I bought a frontline. I got 3 miners with blasting charges, so I've chevroned them up a little bit. This is to try and absorb the global war mechanic that's active now, and I gave them blasting charges just to, in case my opponent brought any chaff units for a frontline, so I thought the blasting charges will tear them up a little bit, and they can also muck up and absorb that war. As it turns out, you can see he's got 5 units of Black Orcs there, so these guys are going to get absolutely massacred. I've got a front line of Longbeards. I've got 2 with great weapons and 1 normal shielded version, and I also have the Norgrimlings Ironbreakers. These guys are awesome. I just wanted them to hold together my front line really, even though they're not armor piercing or anything like that. I've got the Goblobber, 2 Bugman's Rangers, so I like these guys with their regeneration and their good melee stats, and 2 Slayers at the back. I've also got Forgrim Grudgebearer and a Runesmith for my leadership. I made a massive mistake with these guys because I forgot that in multiplayer you have to pick their loadouts, so I've just got them in with their generic abilities, so they're pretty much fully kitted out. My opponent has brought the Mangy Marauders, Regiment of Renown, armor piercing. I like these guys, so he's poking at my miners a little bit here, as you can see, and he's also got the Regiment of Renown, Hammer of Gork, and he's firing in. I'm happy to take this for my miners here. Nice cheap unit, so I don't really care about that. He's got, like I said, a front line of Black Orcs, which I'm trying to soften up a little bit with my Rock Clobber. He's got a Night Goblin Shaman, an Orc Warboss on a Dragon, 2 Orc Boar Chariots, and he's got Vanguarded 2 nasty Skulky units either side, which is going to be interesting. So yeah, let's fire things up to full speed and sort of see how I get on. So I'm moving my Bugman's Rangers up front. I want to try and poke down these Mangy Marauders, see if I can get some good damage onto them without them realising, because these guys did have Stalk, so we didn't know they were there. And I'm happy for him to sit there poking these miners, don't really care about that. And whilst this front line of Black Orcs is coming along, I'm going to be firing into it, just trying to take out a few models, do some HP damage and just soften them up really before they get to my front line. So I'll be switching targets from one to the other, just working my way through those units as they come along. So you can see already I'm actually getting some solid damage on these guys. He's obviously just forgot about them there for the moment, so they're just getting torn apart, they're wavering. They're probably going to rout off in a minute, so I've actually pretty much not destroyed them, but taken them, well out of the battle. Now they're routing off, broken. He switched his Rock Clobber. Is it a Rock Clobber? What's it called? Yeah, Rock Clobber. Onto my Longbeards, which is a little bit tough. I have got them spaghettied out as long as I can, so that, well, they're not spaghettied, they're not staggered, but stretched out as long as I can to try and avoid that fire. But they are getting ripped to pieces really. So to be honest, it's just going to be a matter of him. He's trying to get a full surround, as you can see here, whilst his Black Orcs have this nice approach coming up here. So I don't know these nasty Skulkers are here at the moment, and actually in retrospect I would have liked to have some more backline units to protect these Bugman's Rangers and things, because although the Slayers are great, I do not want them fighting these nasty Skulkers, because they will just rip apart the Slayers. They will give it back, but they're not what they're designed for, obviously. I did spot this unit, so you can see I turn around both of my Bugman's Rangers in a minute and start firing into this unit over here, but I didn't notice this one, so this one's going to creep up on me a little bit. So now we can see the Black Orcs are come piling in, all 4 chariots there getting lit up by blasting charges, and the Slayers are going to come in and start whacking these guys down, doing loads of damage to these guys. And these blasting charges are actually surprisingly good against the chariots. So they're wavering, so that's good. I got some good damage in on those. And the Black Orcs come piling in as well. And this is a real heavy duty front line of these Black Orcs. So I don't think the war's gone yet. And also you can see these nasty skulkers coming in. I've had to intercept them with the Bugman's Rangers here and here as well. And the Orc War Boss, obviously they're all piling in to try and get this Goblobber taken care of. I've got my Runesmith and Thorgrim back here, so they're going to start smacking these guys around. There goes the War. So this makes these guys pretty nasty. They're just going to rip through. Actually, those miners are somehow still there, even though they're shaken. These Longbeards are getting taken to Pound Town by these Black Orcs, and with the Orc War Boss coming in, he's going to poison them and just drag them into the mud. Norgrimling's Ironbreakers are just letting off all of their blasting charges at the moment. Happy for them to sit there and do that. And I did manage to fend off this group of nasty skulkers, but this one is just wreaking havoc back here. You can see he's devastated my Bugman's Rangers, who do have regeneration, but that's really tough for them. I've got my Slayers back here now. They're going to muck up these boar chariots, but it's a real pain with the Greenskins. Even when they rout off, they're just going to keep coming back and terrorising me till the end of time. But you'll find out. So yeah, these miners are pretty much taken care of. Orc War Boss is just flying around doing what he wants. He's going after my Runesmith here, which kind of sucks. There's not really much I can do about it right now, apart from pop some of his runes of negation and things like that. Bugman's Rangers and the Slayers are trying to get rid of these Orc Boar Chariots so that the Bugman's Rangers can get up and running. My Grudge Thrower is somehow still firing here. A little bit of mismanagement by my opponent here, leaving these Black Orcs just chilled there, but I'm sure they're going to be rampaging towards my back line in a minute. So I've sort of managed to hold them up a little bit, these Black Orcs, and I am dragging them down a bit with the assistance of the Runesmith, and these Norgrimling's Ironbreakers are just holding strong. So I didn't really have much of a choice. I brought the Slayers up, not what they're intended for, but I'm going to get a rear charge in on these Black Orcs. They will do some good damage, and obviously the morale damage and things like that as well will be good. Nasty Skulker's finally taken off, and this is really tough. These Black Orcs coming in. I put the Rune of Wrath and Ruin in to try and slow them down, and this Grudge Thrower is just point blank blasting these guys. Manages to rout them off somehow before it gets to them. Obviously it's got that leadership penalty on its ranged attacks. So that was a bit of a clutch moment there. That saved me. I've still got my Bugman's Rangers who are going to regenerate now. 21 and 26 models, so not the best, but he's going to send these into melee to try and muck up the Grudge Thrower and things like that and stop them from firing. The Orc War Boss still flying around with impunity, doing what he wants. Nothing I can do about it really at the moment. I did say as well, this Goblet, the Hammer of Gork, I can't really do anything about it. I was going to send some Slayers all the way up there to try and take it out, but to be honest I think they would have just got slaughtered. So the Orc War Boss is coming in here. I have got my Slayers right there, so they're going to jump on him and start chopping away at him, try and get some HP damage into him. So actually, yeah, he's taking a couple of hundred. He's in the wrong place right now. He does not want to be there. And somehow I'm managing to fend off these Black Orcs with the help of Thorgrim. So one thing that is really good with Thorgrim in this is I've left him. He's got this Oath of Vengeance, which lowers melee defense by 27. So Global War going off there again as well. But this is really nice. You can pop this on the Orc War Boss when he lands, and then I can just start spanking him with all my units, and it puts him right down to barely any melee defense, so he's just going to take full damage. These nasty Skulkers and Boar Chariots are just coming in over and over again, no matter how many times I rout them. So the Slayers are going to come over and just try to get rid of these guys permanently. Some Black Orcs mixed in there now, and these Slayers are just, this is not the situation I want them in, so they're just getting shredded by these nasty Skulkers, unfortunately. The Goblobber's still alive, well the crew is at least at this moment, so it's still going, and the Orc War Boss is going to come in here because I've got a bit of a pocket, and he's going to try and snipe out Thorgrim. So he puts Itchy Nuisance onto Thorgrim, so he's not going to be able to do much. But I do pull everyone in to just start hitting this guy. Runesmith is terrified off, and he's got 10 HP, so that's unfortunate. Orc War Boss is off again, so he's come in, done his little bit, and Thorgrim's just going to get mucked up now and try and beat down some of these Black Orcs. The Orc War Boss is still coming in. He's trying to take out these Norgrimling's Ironbreakers now, but they're just these guys are just never ending. They stay forever, so that's why I've got them there. Bugman's Rangers are both back up and running. Still got ammunition on both of them, 26 and 14 models here. So they're actually firing into the back of these Black Orcs to just try and break their leadership. and do some damage at the same time. Fulgrim's taking care of that group. So actually it was looking a bit ropey. Well, the balance of power is still quite heavily in his favour, but I've managed to sort of pull back. There's still some Slayers here fighting some Black Orcs, again not ideal at all, and that relentless Chariot coming in for a nice charge on my Bugman's Rangers, just shredding those guys. And yeah, he's going for the range now, so he should have taken care of that a while ago probably, but nasty Skulkers again as well. But I've managed to sort of secure this pocket. There's some very tattered Black Orcs in here, but Fulgrim and the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers are just holding strong there. Somehow these Slayers are still alive. They've been fighting Black Orcs and things like that, but there goes one group of Bugman's Rangers. And these guys, like I said, they're no pushover in melee, so they're going to do a good job against these Orc-Boar Chariots, just giving it back to him. And hopefully I can get rid of that for good, because that will put me in a good position, to be honest. But he's got a bit of a pocket collapsing here. Another Boar Chariot still going over there. And pretty much all I've got left here is Fulgrim, the Norgrimling's Ironbreakers, and this group of Bugman Rangers who I'm going to try and reunite here. So I made a mistake with these guys as well. I've left them on skirmish mode, so they're going to keep running away from things. I can't remember if I turned it off or not, but I was trying to obviously move them around, but they just run in their own direction in that case. The Orc War Boss is just being a terror and just going around and picking off all of my units which are routing, which is exactly what you should be doing. The Hammer of Gork has finally run out of ammunition with 67 kills. He should probably dismount the crew for that and bring it over here, although they're not going to do much. They might just absorb some damage if nothing else. So a nice, finally managed to shatter that Boar Chariot, and now I've got my little pocket, so it's going to be sort of a final stand here once he's got rid of this unit, and we'll see what happens. So he's got the other Boar Chariot here, which I'm going to fire into and try and break off. And that kills some of his mobility then, apart from obviously the Orc War Boss up there. He is wavering. Two leadership. Is he going to go? He's charging in for me. I'm not sure. I think I'm opening shots at him here. So yeah, here come the shots. So that should be enough to break his leadership. Yep, he's shattered. He's off. So now I've just got this group. He does have that Shaman still there, which is hidden, so I don't know about this. And hopefully none of these Black Orcs or anything is going to come back. So I'll just speed it up a little bit, and you'll see we're sort of moving around and trying to reform my ranks a little bit, get some extra shots into these nasty Skulkers, try and break their leadership to get rid of those guys. That group of Black Orcs are broken off, and then here comes in the Orc War Boss, who's going to try and get rid of my Bugman's Rangers, which is a great idea even though they're nearly out of ammunition. So I pop Stand Your Ground to give them that extra leadership and melee defense so they don't take too much of a spanking. And I'm trying to chase down the Orc War Boss with Fulgrim, but he's just too slow to catch him. So he's obviously going to come back in, but he's going to bring in these nasty Skulkers and try and get a bit of a surround on me. So he's probably going to cycle charge me a bit here, and there's not much I can do about it. In he comes, he's going for Fulgrim, I think, and he's popped the War again, so I think that's the third War. And so what I'm going to do is bring him in here. He's got 2,000 HP, he's popped the War, he's going mental, but there goes Oath of Vengeance on him. He's got 4 melee defense now, and you can see Fulgrim gets a couple of nice hits on him. The Ironbreakers are going to start spanking him down to 1,400, so that if I can get him out of the picture, it's going to be really good for me. Down to 800, 700, he's popped Sneaky Stab in, 400, and that's broken him off. So that was a really, really clutch moment. Fulgrim just going to town on him with his 4 melee defense after that. And now he's just got a bunch of wavering nasty Skulkers, which these Ironbreakers should be able to mop up pretty easily. The Shaman's still there, so he's got poison as well, so that kind of sucks. He's going to be in there just trying to do something, but he's only got 24 melee attacks and 15 armor, so as soon as Fulgrim turns and starts slapping this guy about, there's going to be nothing you can do about it. So let's just speed this up a little bit here. He's going to come in. Fulgrim's he just stood there for ages. I don't know what he was doing, but he's eventually started hitting him. You can see he's just getting absolutely tanked there, and he's broken off, and we've got the crew coming in to save the day. I think actually the Orc War Boss rallies there, so he's wavering, but he's coming back in, and he's just broken off again. And he literally just would not die, this guy. He comes in for his last stand. The Shaman's back again. Fulgrim's going to come around and start slapping him about again, and that is going to be the end of the Greenskins. So I don't know how I quite managed to pull that out with my terrible micro, forgetting to get rid of the abilities and things like that on my Lord and my Runesmith. I'm not sure, to be honest, in retrospect, that these miners were a good idea. It would have been nice to have these guys at the back with my slayers, because if I had 2 of those at the back, those nasty skulkers that come in and were just absolute terrors, like 92 kills on them, they would have blasting charged these guys into another world, and then I probably could have shored up my front line a little bit more and just gone for the. I did go for the shields because I thought he might bring some more range, so I just thought I'd have two units with shields and 2 great weapons. Obviously, I didn't know he was going to go crazy with the Black Orcs and have 5 units. But yeah, I think it turned out well in the end. I'm not sure what you guys think. I mean, if you think, is there anything you can do about this Hammer of Gork? Obviously, I could have bought a gyrocopter, but is that the done thing? I don't really know. Obviously, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm going to cast a couple more videos over the next few days, and hopefully I'll have some more success, but who knows, I'll probably get smashed quite a bit. If you want to follow along with my journey, then please subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video and a comment, and we can sort of learn together. Hopefully you guys can teach me some stuff, because this was probably more luck than anything. So yeah, anyway, cheers. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.